For those of you who may not be familiar with this item here you're looking at, this is what they call a Lewis lead remover revolver cleaning kit. And they were very popular back in the old days, 50s, 60s, and 70s, when police officers were carrying 38 special lead round bullets in their guns. And the lubrication on these bullets were not at all that great. So, you know, after 50 or so rounds, the barrel would get pretty leaded up, and the forcing cone would get leaded up. So the officers bought themselves these lead remover kits by Lewis. They're not very popular. You don't see them in, you know, local gun stores. You may, depending on where you're from. But where I'm from, you just don't see those in stores. People, matter of fact, I even asked a clerk one day. He didn't know what it was. I explained to him what a Lewis lead remover was. The reason why I'm bringing this up because you can substitute this Lewis lead remover kit with just a regular old worn out barrel brush and your cleaning rod. And I'm going to demonstrate to you right now. Okay, so what I have in front of me are some worn out pistol board brushes. This was 22. I got one in 38 special. And if you look, I put some Chore Boy copper scrubber on the end of the worn out brush to kind of substitute a cleaning brush and board brush. Unfortunately, it's quite messy. Once you cut a piece of it off, right, it just gets, I mean, just full of shrapnel everywhere. And it's not too, I mean, it works great, but it's just too messy. And then, you know, you have this all over the floor, you have this part of your gun, and, you know, it's just more trouble than it's worth. So, in replacing your lead remover screens, they come with the screen. The lead remover comes with a screen for 38 caliber 9mm, and they're about, you know, for 10 of them you get about for like maybe $7 or so with shipping, because you have to pretty much, you know, mail order these out now. And like I said, they just don't have them in gun stores. So I said to myself, well, what can I do to kind of improvise the cleaning brush to act as a Lewis lead remover? So I went to my local hardware store and picked this up. These are screen patches, and they're basically made out of aluminum. And you get them for like $2.50 for, I think, a box of 10 or so, 7 or 10, I can't remember. But anyways, you can just cut a piece of it off, okay, wrap it around your brush, alright, and you can set it down your bore or clean out the forcing cone. So what we're going to do is do a little demonstration. I'm going to take out my Armscor M206 that I had shot yesterday. And it needs to be cleaned out, so we'll go ahead and use this as a demonstration. Alright, we got our M206 out. It's unloaded, of course. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut a piece of the screen off. Actually, what I want to do actually is get rid of this Chore Boy brush off here, clean it up a little bit, and then what I'll do is I'll wrap it all up a little bit and kind of measure it out. Alright, cut a piece of it off right about there. Alright, and then what we're going to do is we're going to set it on the bore, put this to the side. Too much stuff on our workbench here. Alright, wrap it up a little bit. Now I'm using a worn out 38 special brush, 9mm brush, and this is going to be a trial and error here. Alright, I'm using a Glock cleaning rod. Alright, so after about 20 strokes or so, I'm going to show you what I got. Alright, let's remove this out of the way. And if you look, what do you see here? lead. Okay, it just took that lead right out of that bore, and that bore looks shiny right now. Alright, and what we're going to do is do the same thing with a forcing cone. And how you do that is you take your brush again. You can use a different. I use the Glock brush because it's softer and it doesn't damage up your crown. You can put a small hole inside the brush here, and then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to insert this brush behind the there we go, and then I'm going to screw it in like so. Now what I'm doing here is I'm just going to go back and forth in circles like this, and basically I'm just going to clean out the forcing cone. And you know, this works pretty well. I mean, this is on the cheap. You know, you don't have to send away for any screens. They're made out of copper or bronze, I believe. Okay, and then what you can do is you can just run the patch through like that. Okay. Alright, you can do the same thing for the cylinders too. I can't see too well. Oh my, looks very good. Okay, and we do the same thing for the cylinders. Now, you know, the forcing cone, you know, there's still some lead left in there. Now, you just go back and repeat the process over again. But it's an economical way, you know. As a matter of fact, I'll just go ahead and just do the cylinders. And I'm using the same aluminum screen, so we'll just go back and forth a little bit here. Oh, fell apart. That's okay, we got more of these screens here. Alright. Again, doesn't take much. You cut a small piece off, you take out a worn out brush like so, you kind of improvise a little bit. You know, you can put a hole in it with a pair of scissors or a screwdriver of some sort, or even a needle nose plier. Make a small little hole in here, and then push it through like so. Well, I should have put a bigger hole in it. Yeah, I'll put a bigger hole in it. Why not? This way it'll fit better. Alright. That should do it right there. Okay. Alright. Okay, so just go in here and just start turning and turning and turning, you know, or scrubbing like so, however you want to do it. In this case here, you can just probably just go forward with it. Just put a piece of screen on it, on the front of the brush here itself. Probably work a little bit better. I'll go and do that again. It's a little less messy. You can take one screen like I just did just now, and it'll go a long ways. Alright. Alright. Let's go back and whoop. I could have made it a little bit wide, a little bit thicker, but to cover the whole brush, but this is fine for demonstration purposes only, you know. And you know, the aluminum is a little softer than the steel itself, so you know, you don't have to worry about metal wear. And a few pieces fall out of it, of course, you know, because it's abrasive. Alright. This is working quite well, actually. Getting back to that Lewis lead remover, it comes with about 6 or 7 parts. The rod, it comes with the T-handle to turn it. It comes with a expander plug Now the expander plug, what it does, if your barrel is completely leaded up in there, like really bad, you would use the lowest setting on the expander plug and put one of the screen patches on the plug, and then run the patch through, front to back, front to back, front to back. And then as it gets less fouled, you expand by turning the plug tighter to get more friction down the barrel to get into the rifling a little bit better until it's completely cleaned out. It looks like I'm getting there. So again, it's a very simple process. I didn't have to take it apart. I just, opened up the cylinder. Later on, I'll go ahead and add some house number 9. Wipe it all down a little bit. Also they work good for the front of the cylinder as well. Take a piece off it. You can just turn the cylinder while you're buffing it out a little bit. You got some of that lead out of there. Now originally I went to the hardware store to find the brass or copper version of this mesh, and the gentleman said he didn't have any. So I asked him, can you tell me what this screen patch are made of? He goes, well, according to the website, it's made out of aluminum. Okay, so I figured, well, it'll be hard enough. I thought it was nylon at first. I know some of the window screens are made out of nylon. Okay, that did a pretty good job. Wow. Awesome. Now understand, this is not for blued guns. Your forcing cone, I usually don't worry about the, the front of the cylinder. I usually don't worry about the bluing on it. It's going to get removed anyways from cleaning and wear from shooting. So, just keep it clean with some house number 9. It shouldn't foul on you or get rusty, for that matter. Yeah, you can also do that for the crown too as well. Polish up the crown a little bit. But it's not as messy. I mean, I'm not even using any house number 9 right now. I'm just kind of buffing out a little bit. Alright, looks good. And I got the front of the cylinder. You can also go inside the forcing cone area if you'd like with the screens. You can actually use the brush itself and kind of like work it up a little bit. Put on a toothbrush. You can improvise, but basically these little screen patches work wonders. They're great. I mean, for $2.50 for, I think you get, I think it says 7, but it looks like there's more in here. I didn't count them actually. Oh well, the box itself, here it is right here. It doesn't say how many you get. Oh, right here, 7. Okay, so getting hardware store, Lowe's, North Supply, probably Walmart even houses. I don't know. I've never checked, but I usually go to a hardware store first. It's just because that seems like the right place to buy things. Alright, let's take a look at the barrel. It's getting dark out, so I don't have too much light out here, and I can't find my laser light pointer with the built-in flashlight on it. I had it here, but it disappeared again on me. Anyways, you can keep using pieces of the wire mesh to clean out your front of the cylinder. It does an excellent job too. I haven't tried it on stainless steel, but I don't use this on stainless steel. I just use Mother's polish. Alright, go inside here to the forcing cone area. Do the same thing. Wow. That was an excellent job. Just a few strokes and it comes right off. Alright, well, from here, I think that let me get something behind it. That's why I can see through it there. Oh yeah, that barrel's pretty much gleaming. And if you look at the front of the cylinder, you know, that's just a few strokes. And it cleaned it up pretty good. I'll clean out the forcing cone a little bit in here. And so right now, matter of fact, the forcing cone looks really good on it. Looks pretty clean. I could probably use a few more strokes on it, but it's good enough for government work, as the old saying goes. Alright, let's go and cut a piece of cloth here, and we'll run some Huffs number 9 through the barrel. Alright, and cylinders. Ugh. I think I should have made it a little bit thinner there, or smaller. Alright, I'll just have to improvise a little bit. There we go. Alright. Be careful when you're cleaning the muzzle of your revolver. You don't want to have the metal to metal contact. You know, try using a nylon brush and cleaning rod. But if you're careful and you have a lot of your experience like I do, you know, you just push it in and out. Just be careful how you do it. Alright. Wow, that looks really good. Really good. There's not to it, not a whole lot to it. It's pretty simple, it's effective, and it's economical for one. And you don't have to go to get a mail order and have to pay for shipping and all this other stuff. And then after you're done, just sort of clean up your work area. And always clean up your work area, you know. Make sure that everything is clean. Let me see. Yeah. Oh yeah, the barrel's bright and shiny. And all the carbon in the front of the cylinder is pretty much removed. Yes. Alright. Let me grab some cloth here and we'll wipe down the revolver. Oh. Old t-shirts work great. Old t-shirts, they work great for cotton patches. Alright. Wipe it down a little bit. And you're pretty much back in business. I didn't have to take out the cylinder. I could have. In fact, if we check the cylinder, yeah, it's tight enough. Of course, this is not a blued finish on this revolver. It's that matte finish on it. But it's it does the job. It's a very good revolver. I love this revolver. Matter of fact, I had my Smith & Wesson 686-6 with me at the same time, and I decided, well, you know what? I have like 357 rounds, and I have about 238 special. I said, well, you know what? Let's just shoot the 38 special. So I shot the 38 special, and I was happy I did because I didn't have to polish up the the Smith & Wesson. All right, we're back in business, guys. Didn't take that long at all. Okay. Look at that spin on it. That's a clean gun. Anyways, this is Lead Bullets for Life. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you learned something. And we did this together. Another little cleaning tip, you know, for your guns or revolvers. I mean, this works also for automatics, of course. Take out the barrel. You know, if you're a lead bullet shooter like myself, sometimes I powder coat. I mean, I powder coat most of my bullets. And in the past, I used to use the old old-fashioned homemade lube, candle wax and Vaseline, the old trick. Look at that, just goes right in, just click, click. Look at that, just beautiful. Gotta love these revolvers. Anyways, let me just stop gabbing here and let you go. You folks have a good Sunday evening. Lead Bullets for Life signing off. Thanks for joining me today. And if you love what you see, please rate, subscribe, and make those comments, please. Take care now. Have a good Sunday night.